So how do you get building materials to a water access only property in the middle of nowhere? Well, Doug, being so well connected in the marine industry, ran into an old tugboat buddy, Alex, who now runs his own towing company, Trident Navigation. He just so happened to be sending an empty barge to the Central Coast. He offered to let us fill it with some of our building materials. This was incredible. We couldn't believe it. This chance encounter set in motion our dream of building our home a lot sooner than we had imagined. The only problem? We had no building materials and the barge was leaving in 2 weeks. The race was on. Doug kicked into overdrive, scouring Facebook Marketplace for anything we might possibly need. I don't think he slept much, and if he wasn't looking at the app, it was because he was driving to collect his latest find.
Facebook Marketplace and friends. Been helped out a lot by some extremely generous buddies of mine. Tons of material. And I'm a self-proclaimed Facebook Marketplace king. Probably saved 20 grand this week just spending that bit of time moving on things right away. We got our plywood, we got our tin roof, $580 for all of it. So keep your ears open, check out the used stuff. There's lots of good deals out there. Just got to put in a bit of effort.
Within days, Doug had managed to get a hold of a 40-foot shipping container, a 2,500-gallon water tank, 150 pieces of reclaimed fir beams, roofing, plywood, countless tools, hardware, a compostable toilet, a clawfoot tub, IBC totes, the list goes on.
Here we are. First load for just the tip. This is what it looks like when you're not organized. Right, Elf? Right?
Although Doug could wrangle most things down to the barge with a rented trailer, the shipping container, water tank, and wood needed a truck. But getting a hold of someone that could do it within short notice was another story.
As of yesterday, all my trucks that were lined up for this barge were basically non-existent. Told me it wasn't possible. Keep in mind, you have a passion, you're trying to pull off something that's really, you have no idea what you're doing. Don't give up. Go to the drawing boards, have a plan B, C, D, and E. Find the right people to get it done. Walrus Transport came through clutch this morning. Rock star operator. We got the water tank. En route for the wood. End of the barge. The container's set up for Tuesday. Maybe we'll pull this off. Here it is. There's our water. The beautiful thing. Just stay on that damn truck. Walrus Transport. Thank you very much. Well, here we are. Start of the 4x6s. My good buddy Joe. Correction to my old video. This is Talon Trucking. Contracts through Walrus. Unreal driver. Here we are, loading day.
The container was the largest item left on the list. It was gifted to us from our incredibly generous neighbours Nick and Randy, which we can't thank them enough for.
Been a hell of a grind, but I think we're getting it done. And there she is. Our future home.
Now that the container had arrived at the dock, it was time to turn our attention to the final items.
Here's our shipping container wheels.
That we could slip onto the container to offload when it arrives at our property.
Pretty much it.
We had no idea if it would work, but we'll find out soon enough.
just the tip of the day for you. When you're in a rush, buying everything last minute used, probably a good idea to make sure there's actually a rotor on the brake. Other than that, Facebook Marketplace has been great. But leaving tomorrow morning, hopefully. 1,200 kilometer drive. I'll probably have to look into that a little bit. Anyway, check what you buy. Find good deals, but sometimes you get rinsed. The final load. What do you think, baby? It's all because of this girl. Doesn't look like a lot. Got some stuff down on the dock and our shipping containers here. Barge gets loaded tomorrow. I'll be heading to Bella Coola.
As Doug made his way north to Bella Coola, I stuck around for the loading of the barge. We had some last-minute deliveries, including bags of gravel and a pallet of concrete. My anxiety grew as the container was getting loaded onto the barge. Although I was extremely grateful for it, I had no idea how it would get onto our island. We wouldn't have a crane or heavy machinery to help move it, but Doug seemed confident that he could winch it off, especially once it had the tires on. So I made my peace with it for now. Having the container would give us a great head start to building our home. It wouldn't take too long to make it livable, and for the first couple months it would give us protection from the wind and rain, a step up from camping. As the barge was getting close to being fully loaded with our gear, Doug had ran into some issues. The boat trailer that he bought a few days earlier was giving him grief.
Well, probably better to stick with your gut. I did go into a RV shop on the way here, and they assured me it would be fine. And here we are. No cell range. The adventure begins. I guess she stays here for now. Facebook Marketplace backfires. Well, thank God for good guys named Doug in small towns. Doug Repair Shop. Found his house because the shop was closed, and he repacked the bearing and put it on now and drive in front of the shop. Have him do the other one tomorrow morning to play it safe. I think we're winning. Second one on. Nuts to go. Tires on. Go return some tools and hopefully get over to the property tonight. And we're back in action. If anybody's ever in Alexis Creek, this guy's the man. Great name as well. Fixed me right up, middle of the night. We're good to go. Thanks, Doug.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you, Doug.
We'll see you next time.
All right, take care. Eh?
Well, we made it this far. Final descent. Well, we made it. Yeah, a little dark run, but off to the property. I probably could have used a little less gear, but we're going anyway. Got about 70 miles to go. Take about 2.5 hours to get there. Woo-hoo-hoo! made it in pitch black last night. Stopped into my friend Kevin's place. A bit too much to keep going to our property. Stayed right in that little sauna there. It's perfect. Anyway, en route to the property. And here she is, our Central Coast Hideaway.
To say the last couple of weeks were a grind was putting it lightly, but somehow he had managed to get it done, and it all seemed worth it now. The barge was ready and set to arrive within a week, so there was no time to waste. Doug had to figure out where the offload could happen and start making room for the container and materials. The hardest part had only just begun.